It'd be cool if we get like political figures to open for us. Like we get Andrew Yang to do a talk or whatever, and then everyone's so depressed, and then we're like, we go on stage, we're like, didn't that suck? And everyone's like, ah! And then we do.
Why would any politician want to do that? Why would any politician want to be like, yeah, this guy sucks, dude? This is my only bet. That's the only. All right, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of It Was a Bonne Nuit.
So cold.
It is.
No,
Should I?
No, it's good.
For the first time ever, we have a very good AC controlling. That's why I'm wearing a sweater and Gabe is naked. Yes, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you're missing out. Gabe has his huge penis out.
Yeah.
I have to say, quite impressive.
Oh.
I don't know you had a tattoo on your penis.
A tattoo? You think people actually tattoo their cock?
If I was weird, I would.
If I was weird, you're pretty weird.
Dude, you just scratched your feet and smelled your fingers, and you're calling me weird?
When did I just do that?
You just did that. You were like, and then...
My hand was here the whole time.
We have a whole...
I went like this.
No. You did this. You smelled your feet. It's okay, Gabe. It's okay.
Like
Welcome back, Gabe. This is our first... Is everything okay?
Yeah, what?
Okay. I always ask you this. I'm always worried.
I'm fine.
I'm happy to see you, Gabe. Let me sit properly. Recording a pod back in the motherland, the mothership. We have a new painting. What do you guys think of our painting? Should we keep it?
Yeah, let's keep it.
It's you think we should keep it? Yeah.
Every week new painting.
Well, that's gonna be expensive. This is a real Van Gogh. Did you know this?
How much is a Van Gogh? Like $20 million?
Something. If you can buy it.
Who gets the money when you buy the Van Gogh?
The person who owned it before you.
Like Michael Jackson or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson has. Whoever apparently art paintings and shit, they're used to like money launder and like save from taxes, because you would just they buy it and then they save it somewhere and then they save on tax. I don't know exactly. No, I'm not.
Did you hear this app? It sounds like it's totally fucking bullshit and fucked up, but like instead of, you know, like you want to invest in something and there's like website that's like Wealth Simple and you invest in stocks or you pull your money together. There's an app that you pull your money together to buy a fucthe work of art. Isn't that the weirdest thing?
Please sponsor us, guys.
Like it's true. Imagine they sponsor us and I'm just talking shit about them.
I love the idea.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, why should only billionaires, avoid taxes?
But then, like, what? Do you look at it on your phone? Like, I own that. Or then you sell it and then you make money on it?
You don't do that as a fan of art. You do it as a fan of money.
Yeah. The investment.
I like art. Like, this is not, of course, I can't believe I have to say this. This is not a real one. But I love this painting. I want to go to, when I was in London, I wanted to go to the Louvre in France just so I can get to see it.
So you really like paintings,
I like
right?
art, yeah. I like art. I like museums.
Yeah.
I told you, right? I went to the British Museum. Yeah. Did we talk about it on the podcast?
I don't know. I feel, you know what it was? We were together the whole time.
The whole time.
That we couldn't be like, hey, so I went to that. And you're like, I know I went. I was there with you. I'm like, oh, well, I guess it's not fun to tell. Because we could have told such crazy stories. But the thing is, it's better if we tell each other the stories.
It's okay. No, it's okay for us to live adventures together, Gabe.
I know.
Guys, I'm trying to convince Gabe to come to New York. But he's like, I'll decide 24 hours before. I'm like, I cannot plan a whole trip.
Yeah, but there's not much to
plan. I came to London just to be with you and this podcast. Yes.
Okay. Well, it
was worth it. I'm not complaining.
You go to the place, and that's all you need to plan. Hey, I'm in New York. Woohoo.
No, but like when you went to London, we booked spots and shit. So I need to message the right people so we can get on cool shows and not just do shitty open mics. Plus, we can visit. There's a 9/11 museum we can visit. You can see my grandpa and my mom and everything.
Yeah.
We can eat good food. Eugene won't be there, but hi Eugene. He'll be in Ireland. He's visiting Britannia. He's going Edinburgh, Ireland.
Oh, he's going to Edinburgh. Cool.
Yeah, not as a comedian.
That's cool though. Edinburgh is so nice. He's going in September, right?
It's
gonna be nice. Decent weather still. It's good.
Did you know? I learned this from Guillaume, who is a very knowledgeable man. You know, like the rolling hills of Scotland with green grass. That's artificial. Did you know that?
What do you mean?
That was humans made that.
What?
Because
how?
Because I don't know how many. Because you have to remember, those countries have been inhabited for thousands of years. So they wanted to hunt a certain bird or a certain animal who needed trees. So they're like, you know what? We're just gonna remove all the trees so that we can hunt it better.
What?
Yeah. So it's not real. It's man-made, but like maybe 1,000 years ago or something.
But like.
Are you saying Guillaume is a liar?
No. I'm just so confused because I was in what the hell is it called? Edinburgh, Scotland, and I saw. So all the hills are fake?
Well, apparently they destroyed many. You know, like in the U.S. and Canada, there used to be hordes of buffaloes.
Yeah.
And they just decimated it.
Yeah.
Well,
but how did that change the landscape without the birds? They don't.
Well, the birds apparently they needed trees to nest or to hide or whatever. They needed trees.
Okay, so the flatness.
And the lack of trees and just rolling hills of grass. That is artificial.
Weird. That totally makes sense because why the fuck wouldn't there be trees there?
Exactly.
But there are some trees. I've seen trees.
I guess they kept a couple here and there.
Yeah, I've seen trees. There's this really cool spot in Edinburgh. It's called Arthur's Seat. I don't know if you ever heard.
Seat?
Arthur's, like, you know, the
King Arthur?
Arthur's Seat. It's like it's in.
Is that a bidet?
Yeah, it's got Arthur uses. He has an app. Anyway, so it's like right outside the city, and you can walk to it. It takes about 20 minutes to walk to, and it's this huge hill that goes all the way up, and it's all rocks, and you get to see the whole city, and behind that is all these rolling hills, and it's really beautiful. With this.
But what's the story behind it?
People like usually like they get like drunk, and then they like at the end of the day they stay up all night. They walk up the hill.
Yeah.
And they look at the city.
But is there a seat you can sit? Like it's a chair?
It's like not a chair. It's like a bunch of rocks all jaggedy pointing at the top that you can...
so comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's cool. It's like, it's beautiful, man. Like, because Edinburgh has like this big, giant fucking castle in the middle of the city. So it's all like city, like modern. And then in the middle is like this huge fucking castle. And the seat goes like you can just see it perfectly, and it's like amazing.
You want to go to Edinburgh for the Fringe Festival?
Yeah.
Okay. So Edinburgh, UK, you're like, let's plan a year ahead. Yeah, that's the best. Hey, let's go to New York for a week, Gabe.
It doesn't excite
and you're like,
me.
I'll get to know a week before.
Yeah, because it doesn't excite me. Like, I'm not I don't know. America, for some reason, just bores me. Everyone's like boring.
You just alienated 50% of the people who listen to this podcast.
I love Florida. Like, anytime you bring
you know what? You dress as if you live in Florida. As if you're retired and you're like, hey...
I think Florida is...
Oye, ¿cómo va?
People were shitting on Florida forever. I was the first guy to love Florida. Now everybody loves Florida.
No one loves Florida.
Excuse me. No.
Gabe, no one loves Florida.
People love Florida.
Who loves Florida?
Bert Kreischer.
You went to one city where your grandma has a condo and you're like, I love Florida. It's the best city in the world, man. It's fucking Florida, and my grandma has toys for me.
I've been to Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, Deerfield Pier.
Is Miami in Florida? Yeah, right? I went to Miami.
Miami's all right. It's a little too crazy for me.
It's too much. It's like living in a porn not sketch show. What do you call it? Like a porn
movie.
Yeah, but it's like but a scene.
A porn set.
Exactly. Yeah. Everywhere you're walking, you're like ass, tits, ass, abs, cocaine, daddy issues.
Wow.
I would open a store and call it Daddy Issues.
That's good.
And just sell the bottom half of the bikini.
That would be a great store.
Daddy Issues.
Daddy Issues, and you sell like horror clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like bikinis, but only the bottom. Like your titties have to be out there.
Or like dildos
with spikes.
Yeah.
Daddy.
No, Florida. And then there's the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
You know the Keys?
Yeah. Is it the Keys? Is it the same spelling?
Yeah, it is the same spelling.
What do they call it? Is that where they store all the cocaine? It's like, like Alibaba's cave, but it's Florida Keys, and you open it.
But it's
like
more
Pablo
like
Escobar.
It's a key. You take
take a bump.
The Florida Keys. No, it's great, and then it's beautiful. I don't know. It's hard to describe places without images.
As I said,
there's ocean and
Yeah,
bridges.
but it's not real. Then wasn't Andrew Schultz there, and he moved to Miami? He said he didn't write a single joke in 6 months.
Because this guy, all he writes jokes about is like the woke mob and shit. Like, who gives a shit about that? You could write jokes about anything. It doesn't need to be about fucking. Did you hear what Biden said? Like, who cares? That to me is like the most boring comedy. And the only person that actually does it right.
Not everyone has like 60 birds and like, hey, where's my bird? All right. Some people feel other people's emotion. That's just bird feelings.
We know who actually still does it pretty good. Still, I saw some of Bill Burr's new special, and that was still like he was actually really funny.
Did you laugh?
I was laughing. I was
Yeah?
like he was making me giggle because it's so Bill Burry, you know.
It's very Bill Burry.
His laugh. He's like,
but it's a lot of it's great insight. It's great
Yeah.
human insight. But I was watching it, and maybe because I was watching it alone, so I
Yeah.
wasn't like experiencing this group.
I was listening to kind of like a
hypnosis.
podcast, so
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
it felt like an amusing, like really funny podcast sort of thing, you know.
It's something I noticed. All great.
I only would
comedians.
listen to 20 minutes of it anyway.
Okay.
But and that's as much as I could listen to anything.
I listen to the whole thing, but I find I forgot my point. I forgot what I want.
Insight.
To say. There's something I love about comedians is their ability to explain an idea so well, and I'm just not good at that.
No, me neither. I'm
I
so
wish
terrible.
like they're able to express it. And it's like JFK. Apparently, they did a study and they said like JFK, the president who got shot,
Yeah. John
Fitzgerald.
Wait, I'm gonna believe that.
At Gabe Omassi. Don't blame it. Don't blame it. Don't bleep it. So yeah, apparently when he did his speeches, he was a great orator.
Yeah.
And
A raper?
Yes, of course. It was the 50s.
Orator.
If you're not a rapist, you're gay or whatever.
Raper.
So anyways, they said that like he used like a few hundred words. It wasn't like he never used like any weird
Okay, yeah, vocab, yeah.
vocab. It's just he used the common words to explain exactly how he felt, and everyone understood him.
That's great.
And I feel like Bill Burr is like this, Louis C.K. is like this.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta stop listening to Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I'm on stage and I'm like, I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was really happening. I was watching like a bunch of like stand up like on during Just for Laughs, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's how you. Like, there's some jokes you have in your head that you want to approach, but you're like, how the fuck do I get to the, like, I know it's a good idea. I know it could be funny. How the fuck do I write, like, what's the reason behind me telling the joke? That's, like, sometimes I always have, like, the punchline already, but how do I get to the funny part, right? And so I'm watching these comics, and I'm like, they just fucking just straight out say it. I'm like, it's that simple.
Give me an example.
It's hard to explain. Let's
Like,
say.
for something that concerns you.
Like
a joke you had.
Oh shit! Like, okay, so like I'm trying to write this joke about a guy that I met that has no penis. And see, that's the fun. I need to get to the point where it's like the guy with no penis and my interaction and how whatever. But this, like, I saw some comics and they just straight on they related it somehow within their life.
I have a penis, but this
dude, yeah. So they made it present, like relevant to their life, and then they opened it up to the audience, relating it to like the Broadway, and then you tell the specific story with the joke, you know? Because otherwise, it's like, I know a guy with no penis, but it's the abruptness could be funny, but it's like, not palatable, you know?
Since I watched Louis C.K., like in my mind, Louis C.K. would just go like, I have a penis. Some of you have penises. But I met a guy.
I know.
No penis.
Exactly.
This is
something
a very
like that, right?
Like me and you guys. And now what about this specific guy?
People.
I can't wait to hear it.
People who do, like, let's say professional comedians who tour constantly or are fucking doing like an hour a night every day for the rest of their lives, forever, whatever. They're so aware and know the structure of a joke, and like if they get used to doing it now, they're like, okay, I have the idea, I know how to write that already. While I'm still struggling, like I have an idea, how the fuck do I get to the funny part, like with it being understandable? But I feel like watching a bunch of these I've watched like so much comedy over the last few weeks or last week, and I was like, oh dude, it's like very inspiring, really interesting, because like it's all the ideas are just there, you just gotta get to the ideas. And watching really good comedy helps with your own process.
Live. I think watching good comedy
exactly.
live.
I was watching it live. Like I was watching a bunch of stand-up live. It was really good.
I find that though, like festival shows, it's impossible. It's very hard to bomb at a festival show because people. There's a remember Gad Elmaleh, the French comedian who stole. He was on stage. He was doing French comedy. He was doing English comedy, and I was watching him, and he said the more people. He just said it. Because he's a smart guy. He's like, oh, the more people pay for a ticket, the harder they laugh because they want to get their money back. So, the festival, you pay $25 to go see a show. So you end up like, well, I pay $25 to see.
You want to have a great time.
I want to have a great time. I want to laugh. Nice hole on your sock. And then, I need to buy new socks too. Though.
But, so, like I don't like whatever. I'm not looking at a comedian being like, wow, he killed. I'm more like thinking like, dude, that's a fucking hilarious joke. Like one guy, like this is something I don't know if you've ever done this or makes sense, but this one comic had this joke about how him and his friends, like when they were 14, they would all watch like porn together.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done that.
No,
like,
of course not. That's fucking weird.
Or like you're 14 years old, there's porn on TV.
I have friends who've done it, but I'd be like, no.
But like
you know how easy it is to jack off alone?
I know, but it is easy if you have access to porn when you're like 13.
Yeah.
I had no access to porn. There's no porn.
Did you have a computer?
I didn't. I dude. I did.
I had, yeah, but
I was terrified to type in porn on a computer.
Well, yeah, but that's how I became an engineer. I'm like, all right, how can I erase any trace of me Googling titties?
Yeah, okay. See,
and then you're
exactly.
like, I don't know why I'm a typewriter. Maybe, honestly, I got better at computer use. And the thing is, I couldn't jack off in the living room. So, like, watch porn, and then go to my room, rub one out, and then go out to watch porn again, and then go back and just rub one out.
Dude. But he had this joke about, like, that. Like, that was the premise, and, like, all the different... And I'm like, dude... That's like something that I've always kind of wanted to talk about. But I always had the story. I always had the situation. Yeah. But he was able to fucking get to it and make it relatable to everybody, even though it's so fucking disgusting and weird. Yeah. But it came off as really charming.
Tell me about the last time. Do you remember the last time you jacked off with your friends?
Well, no, nobody was jacking off. No, we're just watching because we had no porn, so we would just watch porn.
And no one was rubbing one out under the covers.
Well, we would all pretend to take shits one by one, basically. And it was one time I was watching porn with one of my friends. His name was Gaptooth.
You don't have to say their names. We talked about this game. Names are not important.
Okay, his name is Gaptooth.
Gaptooth.
I think names are important. Dude,
I don't even remember your name. I don't give a shit about names at all.
I think names are a big part of, like, it kind of...
Yeah, but you think Gaptooth, whatever the fuck his name is, you better fucking censor that one.
That one.
You think he wants everyone to know that he used to jack off with you?
Whatever. He doesn't know how to use the internet. I think he's a mechanic or something. He's like Greek idiot. Anyway, oh, jeez.
Censor his name, Gabe.
All right. Anyway, Gaptooth. So
that's like your name, Gaptooth.
So we're watching porn.
Straight porn or gay porn?
It was straight porn, and it was like we were fucking, and I was getting like super horny, and so I go into the bathroom, I jerk off, but I tell him I take a shit, right? And there was just me and him, so like he's in there, what's going on? But he was like pretty dumb. Like he comes in. He goes like after me jerking off, and for some reason, like he opens the door to smell it. He was like, he's like, "Oh, it smells like shit, dude." I was like,
did he have a thing for you? Is he gay? Did he want to fuck you?
I don't know.
He wanted to smell your asshole. That's basically. He's like a dog. He's like, "Are we friends?"
But there's.
Did you flush the jizz? Okay, just to be sure.
Isn't that the weirdest fucking? And it's been stuck in.
Dude, you had weird friends in your childhood.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah.
Oh my god. You know what? It's so funny.
I remember I had a broken arm once, and we were watching porn, and I was like trying to because I had a cast, and I was just trying to come in my. I was humping my cast without anybody realizing, just so I can, dude. Being 13 is brutal.
Was there any shame associated with jacking off when you were young?
No, it just not publicly. You can't like jerk off like with all your friends watching. So we'd have to like pretend to take shits.
Okay.
One by one.
Okay.
That smelled like not like shit.
Not smelled like shit. I've jacked off in a washroom a couple of times. Mm-hmm. I hate it because you want to come, but you're young, right? So your jizz wants to fly to the ceiling and to the moon. So you have to like bend it down to come, and then never like
brutal.
that.
No. Oh god.
I discovered jizzing. I remember like the first time I came, and I'm like, I'm so ashamed of myself.
Really?
And then I did it like 10 minutes later.
Oh wow, nice.
Just remember that feeling. I don't think my orgasms now are as powerful as they were.
No, probably not.
Back then, my now is like it's like an old Mazda in the winter, like it's
Mazda.
It's not. It's not as It's an old car. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Jesus.
Jizzing, comedy.
That's
the life, baby.
Yeah, it's weird.
Smelling feet.
It is wild.
I love it.
That's my nose hole right
That's
there.
your nose hole. Dude, someone, I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
Someone said I remind them of Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, who's that?
He's like
he's
like
the
a
fucking
crazy misogynist who hates.
Yeah.
He was like arrested for like child trafficking,
Yeah.
women trafficking.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, you remind me of Andrew Tate." I'm like, "The fuck?"
Andrew Tate. Oh, so he was on this. He was on your mom. They used to play clips of him on your mom's house for years. This guy.
Yeah. Well, describe him to the layman who have not
isn't he
listened.
like this bald MMA dude? He's like he does MMA.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think he's got some money because he always talks about having tons of money. And then he also gives advice to men on how to treat women and how they basically like. If you're with a man, the man has ownership over the woman. But don't worry, despite the ownership, like you have nothing to worry about. Like I'll treat you like this, but I expect all these things. Like you don't need to pay for anything.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything. But I expect all this, like all the food. I need food when I come home. Sparkling water only. He was shitting on people for drinking tap water. He's like, you're fucking poor if you drink tap water.
But is that does he do it in a comedy way? Because I saw one video of him. I'm like,
super sincere.
This human is crazy.
Yeah, he's
and
crazy.
she's like, "Oh, you remind me of Andrew Tate." I'm
Andrew
like,
Tate's hilarious.
what the fuck? Because I
He's-
just
yeah.
asked her to like, I asked her to do something.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, you remind me of Andrew Tate." I'm like, she's like, "No, I like some of his stuff." I'm like, that does not make me feel good about myself at all.
No, you should.
Then suck my bitch now. Suck my bitch
But
now?
but he's not like that. He's not like suck my dick. He's like very the gentleman meets the biggest douchebag ever. You know,
Mm.
he's
Okay, I can see that.
like he's what the hell is it? He always says things like use my card. It always works. Or like, I expect sparkling water. Tap water is provided by the government effectively for free. You know, only sparkling.
Listen, I hope he does it for comedy because
No, this guy's nuts. Dude, he's nuts.
He's nuts?
He's nuts.
Hey, I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you romantic?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I want to be, but it's hard. It doesn't come naturally to me.
No?
No.
Do you say like kind words?
Yeah, I try to be kind.
Do you tell your wife she's pretty?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
That's romantic.
but she's always like, "No, I'm not pretty. I'm ugly." And
Fucking
I'm like,
women, man, I
"Jeez,
swear to God."
All right,
Why are they like that?
don't know.
You know what, guys? Sparkling water is how I.
Speaking of women, Jesus Christ! So we go to we go to McDonald's after our show. We could talk about
It's like
actually,
Andrew and Tate.
Yeah. We go to McDonald's after our show, and
Which show?
The Zoo Fest show. I did
Oh,
with
yes.
Harrison. So, maybe should we talk about the Zoo Fest show or whatever? I'll talk about it after this.
Yeah.
I'll talk. So I'm like hungry. We're hungry. We go downstairs. There's a big, huge line at McDonald's. They don't have those screens, right?
Okay.
In that McDonald's, and I'm like, oh, we could use the app. We could use the fucking app, right?
Yeah.
So I use the app. I order all my shit. I get the food. I skip the whole line.
Nice.
Right? And I'm like, fuck yeah. And we're going up, me and Claire, and there's like these people, these girls or whatever. They're like, at the end of the line, and we're like, hey, use the app. Like you could skip the line. They're like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Well, too late now, you know, ha, ha. Like that. And then one girl was like, what app? And I'm like, we're at McDonald's, like the fucking McDonald's app, you dumb fucking. Like I was like, what do you mean, what app? We're at McDonald's. We're not at IKEA. Like it doesn't make sense. Like what app?
You should have told Uber Eats.
Dude, what fucking app, you idiot? And I was so mad. I was walking around with Claire eating McDonald's, being like, what app? What app? Like what do you? Like, are you a fucking idiot? You're at McDonald's.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Don't let it get you down.
But it's
some
like
people
it's
are
insane.
dumb.
It's like an insane person.
Yeah.
Like a fucking.
It's not insane, Gabe.
Dumb.
It's not
fucking.
dumb. Listen.
Bleep everything.
Everything. This whole podcast is gonna be one long bleep. That's the name of the podcast. One long bleep.
That's good.
Listen, I as I grow older, I realize I'm not smarter, but I'm like you. I use my laziness gets me to do smart things. I'll give you an example. Remember when we were in Brighton, in London, in the UK?
Yeah.
And we wanted to take the train back to London. And everybody was waiting outside. Remember? Everyone was outside, staring at the screen. And we're like, why are they outside?
Yeah.
So, and no one was inside the station. Everyone was outside the station.
Yeah.
So I tell Guillaume, I'm like, hey, let's go inside.
Yeah.
We'll go sit, because there's like a bunch of chairs.
Just sit
We'll just go sit down. So I go to the cop, the copper, the bobby, the fed. I'm like, oi, governor. Can we just can I just tap the card and go and sit inside? He's like, well, you're smarter than all these guys.
Yeah.
And we sit and we're just everyone is just standing. Waiting outside, standing on their feet.
I know. I don't know what it is.
Because you just have to what's the laziest thing to do, and that's usually the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
So you have to accept it. Listen, not everyone knows. How old were these hoes?
Probably like 20 whole years old.
Yeah, but you
20. I don't know.
Remember how dumb you were when you were 20?
Yeah.
You were jacking off with a guy who wanted to smell your sperm. You understand? Everyone is dumb at 20.
That's so funny.
That's why I like dating them.
That's so funny. The guy wanted to smell my sperm.
You wanted to smell your jizz shit.
Oh, that's. Anyway, that's good. That's so.
But
funny.
you can't let it get angry. You can't let it get. It's not healthy. It's not healthy.
I know. But you get angry sometimes. That's all.
How did your girlfriend react when you were saying, "Look at these dumb idiots that don't understand you can't use the app"?
She was confused because I never really get that angry at things like that. And I just
did it turn her on that you were shitting on other women?
No.
Did you have sex that night?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Did we that night? I think we.
Yeah.
No, it was the night before. I don't know. I can't remember.
Just say yes so my theory makes sense.
Yeah. It could have been that night. Can't remember.
No, seriously. Think about it. Did you fuck that night?
No, it was the night before.
Okay, so you didn't fuck that night.
But I was angry that night too.
Oh, okay. Listen.
I think that day, I don't know. Whatever. It was.
All right, I'm gonna share this.
Can't remember anything.
So I started dating this British girl. You know that I told you this, right? So it's she's in London. I'm sorry, this is not gonna work out. We're just gonna have to be friends, and you're gonna have to come to New York with me. Right. But why are you hiding your penis as a mom? Are you cold?
No, I just like hugging. Hugger.
So we're talking, and I'm talking to her, and I'm getting turned on, but we can't have sex. She's in London.
Oh.
So
what do you do?
So I open. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna jack off.
Mail your cum.
And then I open, and I don't know why. X videos recommended a British.
Oh.
So I jacked off to British porn.
Really?
And dude, British porn is so fucking.
It's gross, huh?
It's
pissing on each other.
It's hardcore.
It's really.
I just
nasty.
like big tits and a little bit of BDSM, just a little bit of alphaness.
Yeah, it's always
but
some old.
Doing this, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What's up with? And I asked her, she's like, oh well, the British are raised to be proper and polite, but I guess at night when the lights are off, and the Big Ben hits,
and the cows
9
go
p.m.
home, and
exactly, it's like ding, and
whoa,
and they start choking each other, and so
Big
weird.
Ben.
I didn't know there was a genre called British porn. Is there? Do you think Mexican porn where they wear a sombrero and
dress like a cactus or whatever?
They make a roof. They build a roof and then they fuck each other in the ass or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. What about let's say
Fake Taxi too?
Yeah.
It's very British.
Does every culture have a porn? Would you go? Is there Indian porn?
Yeah,
really?
It's very molesty. I'm not
very molesty.
Yeah,
okay.
It's they, the Asians, they go rapey in their porn.
Yeah.
Well, the Indians, they go a bit they enjoy the creepiness of being a man, and I'm assuming, I'm hoping the girls enjoy the creepiness of men, they're very you just wanna, you've seen those sometimes.
I think I have. It's always a woman asleep, maybe.
Yeah, and they're
ooh.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, it's not.
Yeah, I wonder what that's all about.
It's there's nothing wrong with it, it's a fetish, every
yeah. Okay.
I think in the States there's a lot of stepmom, stepsister.
A lot of divorce. 50% of divorce families.
So that's in America. No one can. You don't get divorced in India. They throw acid in your face and then they bury. So there's no step sex. They don't have that.
There's no step sex. Wait, what about? Is there Canadian porn?
Is there Canadian porn? That's a good question. What would Canadian porn be?
It's just people with really hard nipples because it's cold. The most pointiest, coldest nipples.
Hey, sorry, hey. They're only fucking French Canadian girls because they're whores.
Yeah.
Did you know this? Did you know that French Canadian women have their reputation of being the sluts of North America?
It's because back in the 1600s, they flew. They
boated
all the whores.
Okay, yeah.
They're, what are those women called? The joie de fille or whatever. It's like
it's not the suffragette. It's the les filles du roi.
Yeah. So they flew. They
flew a bunch of whores.
They boated down a bunch of whores. to fuck the natives or whatever. And
No,
give
to
them
fuck the
give them
men.
smallpox.
No, that's your. Wow. All right, listen. This is a history podcast, Gabe. We cannot lie. No. So there was a bunch of men. They were like, hunting caribou and bringing fur and shit. And there was no women. Yeah. So the king, he sent a bunch of women to Quebec.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it was called whatever. They sent Upper Canada. Was it called Upper Canada back then?
I don't know.
Or maybe it was Quebec. So he sent a bunch of whores. We shouldn't say whores. They're the women who the what?
The bone hose.
The bone hose. Yes, he sent a bunch of bone hose.
Yeah.
Les filles du roi, the king's girls, so that they can find husbands and build.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they were whores. I don't know. Do you think they were a bunch of whores?
No.
Or maybe it must have been hard to find a good man back then,
Well, there's that. What's that song? Boats and Hoes. Makes sense. They boated them over.
Boats and Hoes? I don't know that. Is that a children's song? Here's our boats.
No, it's the movie Step Brothers. I don't know if you ever seen that movie.
Yeah.
There's a song they sing called Boats and Hoes.
I cannot recall. I don't recall. Okay, boats and hoes. Okay, maybe.
I don't know. Whatever. Dude.
So this is why. So do you think? Oh, you think that's what? I think here's what I think. Because the French Canadians, they lived sexual revolution in the '60s, right? So like, let's burn our bras and we're independent women, freedom, yes queen. So they had the yes queen, even though they're against like the majesty, and they had their own yes queen back then. Yeah. So I think by being this sexually liberated, but because if you go like English Canada, they're more uppity up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But French Canadians, they're like, oui, on fait l'amour.
No, it makes sense.
I have 3 husbands and
I don't know. It could be like, it's just like to Adam and Eve, they repopulate the, they need a Noah's Ark or something, they needed like, they sent
so
over.
So hard to understand you sometimes. So you're basically saying French Canadians are like the animals on a boat?
They
Is that what you're
needed to send them over to make children.
Well, yeah, to grow the empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. Mm-hmm. The end.
The end. This is why French Canadians... How was ZooFest, man? How was the ZooFest show?
It was great. It was really cool. The first show was okay because... Oh, you were there.
It was great. I loved it.
It was good, but the sound was all fucked a little. It was all... And like... So we did... For ZooFest, me and Harrison Weinreb did... a bunch of sketches and we put them in one video.
Fantastic, guys.
It was fun. I
hope you guys release it eventually.
Well, all the videos are all on YouTube. They're all there except for the T video.
Yeah.
Maybe we can release the T video on the Bonne Nuit channel.
Is Harrison okay with that?
It's my video, the T video.
Okay.
It's my video.
Okay.
So
then release it on the fucking Bonne Nuit.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'll
Absolutely.
take it. I filmed parts of it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was cool. We filmed a bunch of sketches. Well, we already filmed a bunch of sketches. I filmed one sketch. He filmed one sketch. And we put a bunch of old shit, new shit together and played it for people in an audience watching. It was cool watching and hearing them laugh, Yeah. So the first time we played, we did this one sketch called Shit Comedians and Shit Cars Getting Shit Coffee. And it went over pretty shittily. And then so the next time we met on Saturday for a second show, like hours before, and I just re-edited most of it.
Really? Okay.
Like I didn't re-edit you know what I did? I suggested that let's take that 8-minute video, cut it up in 2-minute segments, and place it throughout the video.
Oh, that's genius.
And it was like, let's say the show would start, there would be a sketch, and then comedians in cars would play. And because that first part gets a big laugh. Yeah. This is shit comedians and shit cars getting shit
coffee.
And then so we would do another couple of sketches, and then that video would come back, right? So people were like, oh, it's back. But the sound's better this time, I fixed the sound, and we changed the sound in the... Like the sound guy that was there helped us more and shit. And instead of it being a long thing, it was maybe a minute and a half of weirdness. Yeah. And then it would cut to shit comedians and shit cars will be right back. And that would always get a big laugh because it's really
it's a funny expression,
yeah. And it just kept on coming back throughout the whole time. And then it ended with Vance going home. And it felt so good. Funny. It was fun. And so
Vance did a really good job, man. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I don't know if he knew what he was doing, but he's really funny.
He's a natural character. I messaged him, I'm like, dude, great job on the fucking sketch.
Okay, that's
good.
I'm happy because he came to the second show.
Yeah, I told him, go fucking. He's like, I'm like, because he was at I
don't know, why didn't he want to come?
He came to 3rd floor. I think he wanted to do a spot. I'm like, go fucking see the thing you've been killing. He's like, all right, I'm leaving. I'm like, go, you're going to be late. So I sent him.
That's good. Thank God. Dude, okay, cool. Because it was great. And I think he was happy with it. And it was good. And, yeah, and people were laughing even harder. The sound was better, and people were laughing.
You had a big crowd for the first one.
Yeah, second one was I think pretty even to that. It was good.
Nice.
And very happy. It was crazy. we were looser with it, maybe
Yeah.
even like with the mics in the back and telling jokes. But
it's crazy. You know, like when we do comedy, when you do stand-up,
Mhm.
you write a joke and then you fine-tune it.
Yeah.
You do it in front of a crowd, you fine-tune it,
Yeah.
and then you do it again.
Mhm.
And then you hear, like, when they make videos, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
They show it to a test audience, and then they
Yeah.
fine-tune it. So basically, you did that. You did a fine-tuning with the
It's
first
amazing.
audience.
I was talking to Peter about it, and he said, you know, like William Shakespeare, that's how he wrote his fucking plays.
Really?
He didn't just write the whole thing. It was like, all right, there it is, and they would act it. He would like. He had actors, right? So he was like huge, so he could do anything he wants. You know, he wasn't one of those guys that was like he wrote shit in the dark and then people knew him. He was like huge, so he would write a draft. He would put it to like, let's say like 50 people would
Yeah.
watch it. They would laugh because he wrote a lot of comedies, right?
Yeah.
And so and then he would say, oh, it's bombing. Okay, I need to rewrite this part. And then he would come back to it over and over. And even these dramas, you can see people affected or moved, or he would ask people like how'd you feel about this, and they would tell them.
He thought like a comedian.
Dude, it's
so cool.
crazy. Isn't that insane? But apparently a lot of writers and playwrights
Yeah.
did that. It wasn't like an uncommon thing. Isn't that interesting? I
thought they only did that for movies and for stand-up comedy, but for theater.
it blew my mind. I was like, get the fuck
Are
out.
people still writing theater, though? Who writes theater anymore?
Yeah, I mean, what's his name? The two South Park guys.
Yeah, but that's like 10 years ago. It's a musical. though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Of course, people are still writing theater. I'm being
Yeah,
stupid right now.
there's got to be shit tons of fucking theater, right? There's got to be so much.
Would you go watch theater? It's like one of those things that I go
Maybe.
like, I don't know.
I would.
You
If
know,
it
we
was
have,
like
like,
if it was
fucking-
free. You know, I would go see free theater. But like if it was like great theater, but I got to go for free. I think it's the only reason why I would ever want to become like famous and shit
Yeah.
is get access to free shit. Like imagine like you're in Plaza
Yeah,
Art.
that's why you have to come to New York with me so
I
we
know.
can have an international presence.
Well, how awesome would it be? Let's say you're like at Plaza Art, you see like a big stage with like music and shit. You're like, oh, cool, and you just walk, and you're like, you walk into the stage, and they're like, oh, hey, and you just walk in, and you're like, and you leave. that would be my. It's almost like you're living like you're in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You just go anywhere you want, open any door. Hey, you're that guy. Hey, how's it going?
Guys, you know what's funny? I want to say something because he says this right now. So you heard what he just said. So a couple of months ago, we were talking, and Gabe is like, "Oh, I don't want to be famous. No, I don't want to be famous. I just find it weird." Someone offered him coffee because he recognized him from the podcast, and he got free coffee. He's like, "Oh, I hated it. It was weird. I don't want to be famous." And then he just said this, which is literally the definition of being
Yeah,
famous.
true. But it's more like the ideas and having fun. I got recognized on
Wanna punch you in
the
the face
street. I was
sometime.
having a beer, and a couple was like, "You're the funny comedian." I'm like,
Really?
"Hey, yeah."
Ah, did you give
Yeah.
them a Bonne Nuit
I
card?
did. I gave him a Bonne Nuit card. Hopefully they come to the
Yes.
show. And
Nice.
then, yeah, it was cool.
So
yeah.
you want to be famous? You have a TikTok. You're on
No.
TikTok, Gabe.
Yeah, but
You're a 45-year-old man on TikTok.
I don't use TikTok anymore. I haven't used it.
I know, but you did.
I know. Well,
And
it was the pandemic, and I had no outlet. You know, I had no outlet at all.
All I'm saying is
Yeah.
that everyone wants to be a little famous. You just don't want to be famous for nothing. You don't want to relieve a sex tape
No, yeah.
with
yeah.
Jason Sellin. And
But
you're
how
like,
awesome
yeah.
would it be? Imagine you leave right now, you walk into the guy's house.
I don't want to go
walk
to anyone's
into his
house.
house, take a shit in his bathroom, and be like, "Sup?" And he'd be like, "Hey man,
Oh my God.
can I get a selfie?" Yeah, dude. And then you know how like Bill Murray does that, where he like walks
Yeah.
into a bar, starts bartending, shit like that.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, but you have to become famous.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
That's just acknowledge it. Stop acting as if no, I'm above that.
Can't
Stop
we
being.
just act it now?
What's the name of that actor who's like, oh, not Johnny Depp? What's the name of the?
John C. Reilly? No,
No,
John
he
John F.
he has like
Kennedy.
a fucked up. He has a fucked up face, a lot of skin in his
Steve
face.
Buscemi.
He looks now like Steve Buscemi.
I don't know. Is it
He went to see not Pablo Escobar. He went to see the new Pablo Escobar. What's his name?
the new Pablo Escobar?
The guy who's like, he's a big cocaine guy. He went to visit him. He went to Ukraine.
Oh yeah. The El Chapo. He went to
Yeah,
visit
he went to
El
visit El Chapo. What's his name?
He was Spicoli in the Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? He's like, "Hey, what's up?" I know who you're talking about. He played. You know Spicoli? Oh shit.
I thought it was like a cold cut of like ham. Hey, can I have a half a pound of Spicoli?
Yeah.
What's his name?
He was also in Mystic River, I think. He played like a pedophile or something.
What's his name?
Oh God, I wish.
Not Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's not Johnny Depp. I know who he is.
So yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, I don't want to be famous, man. But he's like, he does movies and goes to see Zelensky.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't be like that guy. Be honest, Gabe.
I'm honest.
You want to be famous. You want to say it.
No, I really,
You
I
fucking
actually
liar!
don't. No, I don't. I want to have fun.
Oh my God, you're angering me. I need to take magic mushroom this time. You're eliciting anger on my behalf.
But I want to be like, I want to walk around and everyone knows me and shit. You know, I don't want to be famous.
All I want is to fucking sell out theaters where we can just go, and I do 45, you do 45. We have someone open for us.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Good night. Yeah. And then I go to a pizzeria and like, hey, it's Amer, and I get a free slice.
Yeah, that's the
But
best.
then I have to tip them $100 because they gave me a free slice. And then I'm like, salam alaikum.
I want to
have a fatwa against me because I say a lot of jokes about Muslims.
It'd be cool if we get like political figures to open for us. Like we get Andrew Yang to do a talk or whatever. And then everyone's so depressed. And then we're like, we go on stage. We're like, didn't that fucking suck? And everyone's like, ah. And then we do.
Why would any politician want to do that? Why would any politician want to be like, yeah, this guy sucks, bro? No.
Or we bring on like...
I want to have like fucking killers. I want to have like Harrison open for us.
How
like
awesome.
a fucking amazing comics. And they're like, oh my God, what a great show.
Oh, we get like a homeless guy to come on stage. He's like... and we're like... And we come on, we're like, dude, what the fuck? Who the fuck let this guy on the stage?
That's funny.
And then we fucking like kick him off. And all our crowd is like Republican white guys. So like, yeah, fuck that.
No. Your crowd is a bunch of British Tories, and my crowd is like Mahmoud and Arabs and everyone ESL, English as a second language.
There's like a white section and a whatever.
I mean, we're gonna have a men's section and a women's section. We're not. This is like a church. This is a mosque. We separate, the men from the whores. But.
Or like, you ever watch like there's like these magician shows, or like they're not magicians, they're hypnotists, right?
Yeah.
And apparently these magicians, this is actually, I'm terrified to go to a magic show, like because they talk about how they can do mass hypnosis over a crowd, and then apparently people go to these magic shows, and then the next thing they know, they remember is that they're leaving the show. Isn't that the creepiest thing? So maybe we can get a magician to open for us
and just hit me like, these guys are funny. Laugh.
Something like that, or like.
Well, listen, stand-up comedy is somewhat like hypnosis. You have everyone paying attention to you, and then when you say something and they all laugh, and then you say something and they go oh, like it's somewhat of a mass. I don't think you're easily hypnotized. I can't even hypnotize you to come to New York. Should Gabe come to New York?
I should go.
You should add this.
I should go. I need depends what's going on in September. I might not have any money.
Dude, 9/11. It's a great time to go to New York. We get to celebrate.
Yeah. Imagine we should like invent a new type of comedy that's like doesn't exist, and put it like let's say we do a show. And it's like, I don't know. I can't think of it. Wait, like, let me hold on.
Well, yeah, of course. Let's invent a new type of comedy. Oh, yeah, I can't think about it.
It's hard. It's hard to think of a new type of thing.
This friendship is great comedy.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Or like,
I hate you so much. I wish. It's very rare that I have this rage. I don't know why. Maybe you're eliciting just anger.
We should bring back impressions. We should do only impressions of a guy. Let's say like we do The Simpsons, but like we write new episodes of The Simpsons and we put it on stage. But like we it's only us doing the voices, right? So like do Homer. Dude, I feel fucking crazy right now.
I'm very bad with accents. I'm horrible.
Oh God!
It could be. Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like Simpson.
Marge. Marge.
Hey man, don't have a cow, man. This is my imitation of Marge. Hi, I'm Lisa. That's Maggie.
Marge, Lisa's sucking my dick.
No, she's British. Oi.
Oi. Oi, Maggie. Oh, Jesus.
Maggie. Oh, why is Maggie sucking my dick? Oh.
It happens to the British people. That's British porn.
That's British porn. Oi.
Maggie sucking Homer's
it's called
dick.
Pascal sluts. No, I remember.
Pascal sluts.
Do you think X Videos was tracking where I was?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's in London. Let's send him some British porn.
Yeah, they also track like your phone calls and who you're talking to. So if you're talking to a British woman, they're like, listen. Like, what are they gonna do if they find out that I'm tracking this guy? Hey, the porn site is tracking my. You're not gonna expose yourself as a pervert, so they could do anything they want with your information.
What? Say that again?
So let's say like a porn site tracks your information, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, what are you going to expose the porn site? Then everybody knows you're a pervert and watches porn. So
but everyone watches porn.
I know, but nobody talks about watching porn.
We talk about watching porn.
Other than comedians, and
you know what's
porn
funny?
Stars.
I have a friend who never like told me he watches porn. Like every time he's like, oh, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You must watch the weirdest porn in the world. If you say you don't watch porn, you must have the fucking kinkiest, weirdest shit in the world.
Like if you deny anything.
By the way, it's funny. He lived in Thailand for like a couple of years. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's a perverted city.
That's a fucking we should do shows there.
So like, if you deny anything about yourself, chances are you're that person.
If you deny anything about yourself, chances
Let's
are.
say like I asked you a question.
Yes.
Like, are you a pedophile?
Yes, of course.
Damn it. You got me though, because if you would have said no, that means you're a pedophile.
You know what's funny? You know when you say a joke and you forget you're talking to a normal human, so they don't understand a joke. They don't understand you're joking. So I was talking to a girl and I was saying like, if a 9-year-old had like big tits and a huge ass and was like shaped like a MILF, I would totally fuck her. She's like, why did you even say this? Why did you involve a 9-year-old? I'm like, it's a joke. I'm being facetious. I don't know what the fuck the word is. Like, I'm being
fishes. I'm being a fish.
I'm being anal fisher. Like, I'm like, she's like, why would you? Who would say that? I'm like, it's a joke.
I don't know. Yeah, dude.
It's a stupid joke.
It is a stupid joke. It's funny though.
Like if a 9-year-old was shaped like a 32-year-old woman, I would fuck the shit out of her.
If it was legal, you know what it is? I think whether or not someone is legal of age depends on how much of an adult they look.
How much of a what?
Like
adult?
Like it depends on how much of an adult they look. So let's say that some 4-year-old has this disease that makes them look like a 34-year-old woman.
34? That's disgusting. Why would I want to fuck
let's say 24.
And if a 40-year-old has a disease that makes her look like a 24,
4-year-old girl has a disease that makes them look like a 24-year-old woman. Let's say. Then,
by the way, does the brain?
No.
So she's like blah 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 blah, but she has like
That I think that's all.
I feel bad.
No, but that's all that matters in the consent, like with the law. Apparently, that's true.
Wait. So what you're saying is that the law says?
Yeah. The law said it doesn't matter what age you are as long as you look like that age. That's why they take pictures on your driver's license so they can track how old you actually look. And so you could legally have sex with a 4-year-old girl.
What are you trying to tell me, Gabe? You want to hang out with my friend in Thailand? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Gabe?
I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you the truth that I read in the book.
In a book? How to Be a Pedophile, Volume 1. A book that he wrote by Gabriel Omassi. This is going to get you arrested, Gabe. This is the...
I think we found the format of the podcast.
It's just defending pedophiles.
Wow.
That's so funny. That's so stupid.
Oh my god, this is a wild podcast.
This is a wild podcast. Fucking we go to Britain for 1 week and Gabe comes back a pedophile. Oh my god, that's disgusting. I'll let you lead the conversation from now on. I'll let you take control for a second. I'm curious to see what else is gonna come out of that brain. Did you get your hair?
I got a little bit of a trim.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's not bad, huh?
Yeah, it looks
My mom really did a good job this time.
You've always looked great. I told you.
Not lately.
No. I'm telling you. Well, not raising you, but other than that, it's like, my son is a pedophile. Ay, caramba. But I told you, we would walk in a bar together and I would see girls check you out. I'm like, oh. Because you have like this silly, cute... Hey.
I didn't realize that.
What's your joke? Like a sexy hamster?
Yeah, the sexy hamster.
Yeah, they're like, oh, who's this sexy hamster?
Yeah.
Like all the predator... Because, there's two... There's the gazelle and the predator. Some women are gazelles and some women are predators. And the predators are attracted to the gazelles.
They're doing a bad job being predators. I don't even notice them being... Maybe they're being... That's a good job.
That is because you're a stupid gazelle. You're like, hey.
Yeah.
Hi. And they're like,
I don't
know. You know what I mean? Like opposites attract, as they say.
Nobody talked to me, so that's okay.
I think if you sit down like, oh yeah, she talked to me. Oh, like if you sit down and take a moment, you realize like, oh, she was trying to engage me in a conversation, get to know me a little bit.
And I was
better.
just on my watch, not muting it and shit the whole time.
It's so funny.
Playing golf.
I went dancing with Guillaume, and we're dancing. And I told you, like when I dance, like I don't stay away. Like I like to be surrounded by women. Yeah, feels good when you're dancing and there's women all around you and they're dancing. But I don't necessarily need to dance with women. No. I like dancing alone. So I was dancing and Guillaume was like somewhere there and a girl came and she just grabbed my hand and she pulled me. I'm like, all right, I'll dance with you. Then I'm slightly turning and then she's like grabs me and then grabs Guillaume, like both of us on her. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm just turn.
It's weird. Like I when I used to go like
but I applaud her. I applaud her. It's good to see
a
women being.
It's interesting. Well, like I remember going the first time we went to that on Guillaume's birthday. We went to a club and there was there's like a black dude and a white dude and a white girl in between them. And so the white girl had her ass out and the guy was grinding like this. And then the guy in front of her was like grinding somehow doing. So she was getting double teamed, but dancing double team. But do you remember that when you were like a kid? I would see that so much more, but not. I feel like it was a little bit old. Like to
clubbing, in my opinion, has not changed since like 1992. Okay. It's like the Me Too movement never happened. In a nightclub, it's like there's bumping and grinding and there's like touching. I walk in, I'm like, oh, it's the same thing as when we used to go to like Dome in 1992, and there's like grubbing and I'm trying to write a joke about it. That's funny that you brought up. A club is like a safe space where like young 20-year-olds, like young girls experience like, oh, I'm gonna be a whore. Like they get to test out being a whore, and little boys test out being like creeps. But it's okay because it's all being supervised by a big huge black guy.
That's great.
Who will kick your ass, or he will like so. There's like a chaperone supervising the creepiness and the sluttiness. He's like that. You can't do that. Like he's always setting the boundaries.
That's so funny. Like a parent, like two parents are like kind of, or like let's say the daughter's like, okay, bye, I'm going to the club, and the mom
like skirts and the vaginas out,
and the mom's like, oh no, dear, be careful, and the dad's like, no, don't worry, Tyrone's there to take or whatever.
The big black guy will defend her honor.
Yeah. He's getting paid probably okay money.
But it's true, like, cause you know me, I sometimes I have difficulties being in the moment. I have to I'm observing and I'm studying what's happening. I'm like, oh, this is what's happening. It's like young 20-years like they'll go to a girl from behind and she's like, she's like, and he's like, oh, I can't do that. You know, or if he continues, a black guy's like, come here, and then kicks him out.
Do you think black bouncers get paid in the opportunity to beat up white people?
Get paid in the opportunity?
Like they're not paid. They're there just to beat up white people. And I would imagine. I
would say there's a little bit of like take this. Yeah. But I think they also have to pay rent. You know what I mean? So, yes, every job has benefits. Like, we're comedians, right? We get to make people laugh, and sometimes a girl will suck our dick after a show. Whoa. It happens.
Okay.
It happens, you know?
Cool.
You know, you're charming. It's like a benefit. They get to beat up
white people.
A couple of white guys if they're being,
facetious.
Because it's facetious. I don't know what that word means, by the way. I've been using it.
Silly
or
exaggerated, maybe.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like a animal going in a club and just it's like animal. It's the kingdom. Like the male approaches the woman from behind, hoping she will not notice him. He bites. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like oh, how will we? And you see like the drugs, how they affect certain people and
drugs.
Like oh, okay, this guy's gay. He just haven't figured it out yet. Talk about me, but. It's very. I love music, man. I swear to God. Like as much as I hate being in a crowd, once the music hits, I'm just we should go dancing soon. Once your birthday is coming up, right?
August 2nd.
August 2nd.
Yeah, I'm going to Jerry Park. If you want to come during the day or evening or something, we're gonna just have a barbecue and chill.
When?
August 2nd. I don't know when that is.
On your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll come. If it's your birthday, I'll come.
Yeah, if you have a show, whatever. I think it's on a Tuesday. There's no real shows on Tuesdays anyway.
August 2nd.
Are there shows on Tuesdays?
No, I don't think I have anything on August 2nd.
No. Just not really any shows.
Are you excited? How old are you going to become?
2032.
2032.
32.
Don't you love getting old?
I kind of do.
Fucking, I love it, man.
I do.
Every year, like, my body deteriorates. I can see, like, oh, this is not going to end well. But I like, there's a certain freedom, like, oh, I give a shit less and less. I'm more free, you know?
Yeah.
All those insecurities of my childhood, they slowly fade away. They're replaced by real insecurities like cancer and
oh, dude,
like my health is dying.
Oh God, terrifying.
It's nice. It's nice to be a man.
Oh Jesus.
You know, I was trying to it's good to be a man, like an old man. It's good because you're a man.
Yeah.
People like fucking. You trust yourself more. You know, you get the shit done.
Yeah.
That's why they're called garbage men. They're not garbage boys.
No.
It's because you need to be a man to pick up the fucking garbage and put it like, you know what I mean?
Also,
you don't give a fuck. You have to do your job.
You look at like people that are like awesome. They're never like young dickheads. They're always like an old
some
guy.
of them.
Like who? Spider-Man?
Eddie Murphy was like 22 when he
Yeah.
released
But
Raw.
he was very mature. Like you looked at him as if he was a man.
Yeah.
You didn't look at him like he was. Oh, here's this young boy. You're like, no. Grown men were like, hello, sir. You know, like, or
he has this aura.
You look like a Richard Pryor. He was like a grown ass man.
Yeah.
You know, or like fucking even badass actors or like.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be a
dudes
man. I swear to God. Guys, catch us more on Andrew Tate's new podcast.
It's good to be a man.
It's good to be a man. I swear. Getting older, it's nice. You'll see. Your body is gonna. You have to take care of your body. That's the only thing that I regret not taking.
I'm gonna have to start.
I should go back. You don't remember that image, that gay fantasy you have of me of being jacked and with a beard and shaved head? I need to start working on that.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome, dude. You're just jacked.
Yeah. Keep looking at me with those eyes.
You gotta like also maybe like dye your eyebrows darker. Cause then you would have like dark, like then dye your beard black. That would be fucking amazing. If you're just like it's just black, and they have blue eyes or what is it, green eyes?
Who is this man you're talking about? just black. I just want you to be black with blue eyes and huge black cock, and you put it up my ass.
Dude,
and
how awesome you have like dark, like just huge but dark beard, cowboy hats. Saeed. I was describing Saeed the whole time. I wish I could put a picture of Saeed. Saeed's this guy who comes to our comedy show a lot. He's got a big beard and a big cowboy hat. And he's like...
He's giant, too.
Israeli or something.
No, he's Persian. He's like 6'3", 280 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
Huge muscles.
Hello, Gabriel.
Like he has a deep, sexy voice. He wears a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Came to the show yesterday.
Yeah, nice guy, man.
That's fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious.
Ah, that's funny.
You want to fuck Saeed? All right. How was your return back to Montreal?
That's good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was easy. Oh, it was actually pretty sweet. I watched like the whole time I watched a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched 6 hours of a show straight.
I meant mentally. When you so you landed in Montreal and you're like, fuck, it's back to life, back to reality.
Yeah, but I went right into the JFL mode or whatever. So it still feels I'm kind of like in party mode sort of thing.
Yeah.
And but I was like back. I still haven't even. Sorry. Oh God, I'm burping or hiccuping. I'm still not even working that much. Like I still haven't got much work yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, hey, I need work or whatever. I'm telling my job. But yeah, I stayed up the day I came, and I just went to bed around like 10 p.m. so I can get rid of the jet lag, and I was right back into it.
That's good.
I was walking around the neighborhood a little, like I wasn't as oriented. I felt like I was walking down a street. I'm like, where the fuck am I, sort of thing? Because Claire dropped me off somewhere, and I was like, I have to use Google Maps in my neighborhood.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I was like, that's so weird. I'm there. I'm usually really.
Where are the pubs?
Yeah, and all the buildings were small. So it did take a couple of days of being like, Montreal's small, and then now I'm back to Montreal. It's pretty cool.
I felt depressed the first few days I got here. Because I didn't have any shows. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have comedy for like 3 days. Mm-hmm. And I was a bit jet lagged. And, I'm like, fuck. I'm missing London and shit. So it was like a bit depressing because I'm like sitting alone in my living room. I'm like, all right, I'm back in Montreal now.
Yeah.
It just felt useless. Like I didn't have comedy. I didn't have nothing. But then the second I started getting back on stage, I'm like,
good.
Okay,
you're back at it.
This feels better, making people laugh, giving me a purpose.
Yeah. And so the
plus I still have my blisters, so every time I walk I'm like, I'm still on vacation.
So Claire told me about the blister plaster. You would take it off and rip out all your blisters.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to take it off.
It's supposed to be there forever.
It falls off on its own after a day or so.
No,
it does. That's what you're supposed to do. It comes off on its own. You're not supposed to rip it off. It's supposed to naturally fall off. Okay. So I don't know. So you would just constantly have open sores.
I have, but I would replace them. That's it. I would
But it would still rip it open.
Well, I would take it off because it would. Dude, I don't think blister blasters are made so that you walk 10 kilometers a day like
probably
we
not.
did.
It's probably meant for like a dick sore or something.
Well, you know more than that. But it's like I'm walking. I'm like, I still have like the back of my foot and here. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, as long as I have my sores, I'm still on vacation. That's the way I see it.
How are your feet now?
I still have a little bit of behind
that's rough.
Right here, but it's okay. It's like now that I'm back, it's like, oh, I remember how I got those.
Je me souviens.
Je me souviens. You know, I remember. Like it's a pain that reminds me of like me being on vacation. It's nice.
Nice. That's really.
I like it.
Inspiring.
Yeah?
It's beautiful.
It's nice. It's beautiful.
Very good.
I nearly died yesterday.
Why?
I drove to Ottawa. In case people are wondering why I didn't come to Bonne Nuit yesterday, I was doing a show in Ottawa. I went to showcase, and I'm driving, and it started pouring rain.
Okay, yeah.
Did it pour in Montreal?
It did, but I was in the venue already.
I had to stop on the highways because I couldn't see in front of me. So I'm like, so just parked on the side. It was, the wipers were at full blast, and I could still not see what's in front of me.
Wow.
It was, I never stopped on the highway because of the rain.
Yeah.
Then I come back at night. It's like 10 p.m. So I'm driving, and it's rainy, and there's no lights on the street, so you have to put the high beams. But there was a little bit of fog. It was very scary. And then you would hit like a little rain puddle on the street, and then the car will go. I'm like,
oh, that's spooky.
And I'm eating a bag of Cheetos at the same time. I'm like, I nearly
almost
died.
flew off the road.
Almost flew off the road.
You drove in with Hattie?
No, I went. I went with I wanted to go see my brother, but I got there late, so I didn't see him. Hey guys, I wanted to say, guys, we still have like 7 mugs left. So if you want a mug, message us. I think I'm gonna start shipping them. See if anyone is interested.
Yeah.
I don't know how much is shipping. We'll find a way to get it shipped to you on the cheap. So if you're interested in buying a mug, if you can't come to the show because we sell them at the show, message us, and we'll find a way to get you a mug.
Yeah.
I think that would be.
Let's get rid of these mugs. Let's sell these mugs, baby.
I don't know
sell
how. I have no idea how to get money from strangers.
Me neither.
But it's gonna be interesting.
Well, it won't be that hard. Just send us like money.
How?
And we'll
how will they send us money?
There's PayPal,
Bird?
or there's Amazon, or there's.
How do you mean Amazon?
There's transfers. We'll figure it out. We'll Google it. How to make money.
How to make money. How to become famous. First, make money.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Salam alaikum.
Bye.